Twitch chat, Wardog message over. Welcome back, guys, to day number 2 of our Battle Brothers cultist playthrough with the Cult of Cheese. Let me give you a live screen here. And we shall load up. We're on day 36. We've survived 36 days in our first... Well, I was going to say our first day, but that sounds weird. In our first session, I should probably say, we survived 36 days. We, of course, are playing as a cult. We have in our front line Monterey Jack the Ripper, sponsored by Orion, who has his meat cleaver, his knife, and his hatchet. He's in the shield wall. We have Erling with the big two-handed flail, who's killed 4 people in 2 fights. We have Mike Hawk, the title mad, of course, sponsored by Undead Blank, who has his pet falcon, his spear, his buckler, and his dagger. And then to his right we have Gebhard, who has a Scaramusax, a shield, dagger, and a bludgeon. In the back line we have Fred, sponsored by the Rubbish the Rubbish Gamer Girl, excuse me, who has a flail and a dagger. We have Goswin the Derelict, who is not a cultist, is the only non-cultist in our battle line, but is our standard bearer. And then we have Dietrich the Kink Lord with his dog, his whip, his mask, and his buckler and short sword. And then we have 5 potential sacrifices that we have swept off the streets. We have Volmar the Vagabond. We have Gunnar the Vagabond. Grimald the Refugee. Burke the Merchant, Peddler, yep. And Hubert the Servant. All of whom we are waiting for the next sacrifice to hopefully sacrifice one of them instead of the actual cultists. I do think that we said in the last episode, towards the end of the last episode, because if you look, even the lads that have been here for a long time, we've only had 2 battles. We're really not doing well for 30 days in. We don't presently have a contract, so I think we're going to try and see if we can get one from Dolmen. There are level 2 contracts in Dolmen, but I don't know if we're quite ready for level 2 contracts yet. I think we need to try and find a level 1 contract to take. So we shall head... Oh, hello. A fresh, cool breeze is blowing today, and you feel like it's a good time for the Cult of Cheese to start something new. You call the men to gather round. What do you tell them? Okay, so we need to set another goal here. What goal do you think we should set, guys? People's in the chat, of which there are not many right now, but feel free to weigh in. Basically, this is like setting a goal for the company to aim for to make them happier and gain renown. So we can either try and make one of the noble houses like us, which I think is going to be a bit more difficult. Naming a sergeant to rally on the battlefield is... I know what that one is. You have to get somebody to get a certain trait, which means they need to be a certain level. Setting out into the wilderness to find something to plunder, I've never chosen so far. And yeah, setting aside skirmishers and defeating a group of at least a dozen opponents is a pretty hefty goal. Mike's saying we do the nobles. I think you're the only person in the chat right now, Mike, so I'm just going to go with your choice. We need to catch the eye of one of the noble houses for more profitable work. They play their own dangerous game, but what does it matter as long as the pay is good? And then we're going to head down to Kockendorf to try and see if we can find a level 1 mission. Because we really don't have great equipment at present. And we need to get better equipment. But I think whatever the level 1 mission is, we're just going to have to take it. Can we get into this fight in time to help? We can. So there's only 2 brigands left, a brigand poacher and a brigand raider. Let's see if we can get in here fast enough to help these peasants. I don't know where the peasants actually are. But that's fine, I guess. We're not in our normal formation, so I wonder if the peasants are somewhere else? We'll move Fred up towards the left flank. We'll have Mike Hawk move down here. We'll try and form up a formation. We might as well send his Hawk up since we don't have a clue where they are. That hasn't helped. Or his Falcon, rather. We'll bring Erling up to here. We'll bring Monterey Jack up to the front because he's got that big shield. We'll hold Gebhard. Dietrich can stay where he's at. Goswin can bring the standard up onto the hillock. I think that the peasants and the raiders are fighting, but I don't know where they're fighting. What this, son? This Battle Brothers. It's a turn-based sort of RPG mercenary company thing in a low medieval fantasy setting. We're currently playing as the Cult of Cheese, our custom cult. I think we're going to have to go out and find them, so we're going to send Fred down this way. We'll move Dietrich. Right, this is right on the edge of the battle. Oh, I bet they're this way then, because I didn't realise how close to the edge of the battlefield we were. They're definitely in a fight with the peasants. So we're just all going to run this kind of direction. Oh, fucking hell, what was that? Aria's in the chat. Hey up, Wardog from Anne-Marie. What sponsors and can I get one from Imatech? Yes, you can. When we recruit new people, they are available to be sponsored. I'll go through a bit more detail on that when we actually recruit one. There they are! Peasants look like they've got no weapons and they're just trying to beat these dudes to death. Goswin's going to charge into battle. Gebhard as well. Everybody's just going to sprint towards these guys. We're just going to try and get some kills in. The peasants are getting their ass beat, which is really not that surprising. Everybody's just going to keep running. Oh, one peasant down. So he's got pretty decent armor, so we probably want to try and kill him without damaging his armor, which so far the peasants haven't done. And Dietrich the Kink Lord will move forward, and we're going to try and disarm this raider. It didn't work, but that's fine. Goswin's going to move up to there. I'm going to put Gebhard straight in front of Goswin. Erling, I think, is going to try and get around the back of the other raider. It might be an idea for Fred to get stuck into this guy because he's got no head protection and Fred has a flail, but Fred doesn't have a shield either. So it could be potentially very dangerous for him. Mike Hawk's going to move towards the left, and Monterey Jack will move in front of Dietrich the Kink Lord. It's another peasant dead. We're going to skip him. Right, first things first. let's try and decapitate. Gebhard's going to try and decapitate this guy. Didn't quite work, but it definitely hurt him. And then Goswin, with the banner, going to finish him off. We'll try and get Erling. Yep, Erling's into the space. Excellent. We're going to send Mike Hawk round this way, because if we can fill in the gaps around this dude, then he's not going to be able to escape. Dietrich with the disarm, and this time it's successful. The guy now doesn't have his axe. Fantastic. That's probably going to do it for Dietrich's turn. We will hold... We'll hold... no, we won't, actually. I'm not bothered about getting his shield, so we're going to switch Monterey Jack to his hatchet and push him forward to try and get rid of that shield. We'll move Fred up to this little mound. Mike Hawk gonna do nothing because it's not the end of the turn yet. Alright, Erling. His two-handed flail does not only target the head, which is what we probably want to be doing here. So we may just have to have him remain where he's at. I don't want Goswin doing anything either. We really want to try and get this guy's armor. We're going to bring Fred down here, and we're going to go for the lash to the head. He gets a hit on there, and has broken the raider's nose. Gebhard, we're going to switch over to the dagger, and use the puncture attack to ignore armor. Or not damage the armor, rather. Meanwhile, Monterey Jack going to target the shield with his hatchet, and get rid of it. And then Dietrich with another disarm after the guy's picked his axe back up. Keep that axe out of his hands. Mike Hawk's just going to have to watch for the time being. There we go, he's picked his axe back up. Mike Hawk's still watching. Goswin's still doing nothing. Same as Erling. And then Fred with the lash again. And the dude is dead. Excellent. Goswin and Fred both picking up a kill there. And we got the dude's armor. Fuck yeah. We also got a hand axe and a staff sling. Along with 83 crowns, some grain, a couple tools and some ammo. Fantastic. Right, so now we're going to divvy up the loot. Padded leather is worth 80. Cultists' leather robes are actually worth 88. So Monterey Jack, Erling, Fred, those guys don't need that. Next most senior would be Dietrich the Kinklord, but I kind of like that he's running around shirtless, to be perfectly honest. So we're going to skip him. And the next one's going to be Gebhard, who's wearing a rugged surcoat, which is worth less. So we'll give him that, which now means the rugged surcoat is available. So that is going to go to Mike Hawk. So now we're sort of stacking, like cascading these, this loot. We have now got a staff sling, which one of these guys is the best at ranged? Grimold. We'll push Grimold forward and give him a staff sling, because he may as well be useful. That hand axe is probably better. That needs to be swapped back. As does that. 25 to 40, 30 to 45. So we're going to swap out Monterey Jack's hatchet for a hand axe, which is an improvement for him. We've got a reinforced wooden flail there. So you know what? I'm going to upgrade Fred to a reinforced wooden flail. We'll give Dietrich the old wooden flail just in case. Job's a good one. Right. Still can't believe my wild man ran away. Oh yeah. Yeah. Asher, welcome to the stream. 1.5k more and I'm 20,000 channel points. Imotech, thank you so much for the support, man. 20,000. Alright, let's head over to Kochendorf here. See what we can find in terms of work. There is a level 1 mission, so we'll probably be taking that, but let's see if they've got any cultists we can recruit. They do not, and I don't think we need any more than we've already got in terms of people for sacrificing. We're good for food. So that's fine, right. The actual battle line is 8 strong, which is not atrocious. Markolf the steward crosses his arms and purses his lips. Ordinarily I wouldn't ask some sellswords to guard a caravan, but my usual crew is a little out of it. Sickness, drunkenness, licentiousness, I think you get it. What's important is that I have important cargo going to Allersdorf about a day to the west, and I need someone watching it. Are you interested? How many crowns are we talking about? He opens the palm of his hands. I'm tight on crowns, so before you ask, this is all I have right now. It's 210 crowns when the contract is done. You know what, we're going to take it just because it's still crowns at the end of the day, and it seems like a relatively easy contract. Mike is at 39.1k. Mike, thank you so fucking much, man. Here we go. While on the march, you come across a woman standing off the side of the road. She's standing at the head of a donkey-pulled wagon. Seeing you, she claps her hands and yells out some order. Within moments, wenches pour out the back of the wagon and line up before you. They're poorly dressed and, if this is some act, poorly rehearsed. Most look like they'd rather be somewhere else, which is ordinary of any women folk stuck out in the sticks. You ask the leader of this group what she's doing. She grins ear to ear. I am a merchant of flesh, a profiteer of good poundings. These here are my wares. She swings her arms to the prostitutes. They straighten up, or loosen up, and feign interest in you and your men. The pimp nods. So, what say we help take the edge off, Been a long day, no? For that many men, I'd wager it'd cost you a low 600 crowns? What do we think? Coat of cheese. You got D deal, says Imotech. Steal the whores, says Son, which I don't think is actually an option. No, they'll probably steal from us, says Mike. Well, I mean, we're at a bit of a tie here. I didn't realise this game was so bawdy in places. Says you can tell her to hand over her valuables. Ah, I see what you're getting at, Son. I didn't... I don't think that's what it means, but sure. So we're literally on a three-way split. Does anybody want to break the tie? Doesn't look like anybody's going to break the tie. Well, I think Mike's got the seniority in the cult, and Son is now saying if it's not steal them, he'll go no deal. So I think we're going no thanks. Despite the protests of some of your men, you decline the pimp's offer. She shrugs. Damn. I knew I should have invested in little boys. Well, suit yourself. Jesus Christ. Okay. I've never seen that event before, and I kinda hope I don't see it again. It's a bit friggin' dark. No, thank you. We're off to see the wizard. I just want to grab Neuenried as we pass through and see if there's anybody to recruit, but there isn't. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it, Mike. I think in some places this game tries to be a little bit too dark. The wagon train drives into Allersdorf, each cart bumbling and tumbling their tall wheels over mounds of dried mud. The caravan hands work to unload the cargo, a few of them fighting off a beggar or two. The leader of the train hands you a satchel, and that's about all he does. He's too busy with his work to say much more to you. The silence is appreciated. Alright, let's head into Allersdorf. They've only got a level 3 contract, so we're not taking that. And they don't have any cultists to recruit. We still don't need food. Who likes us? Dinklesmark's very friendly with us. But I mean, actually... Oh no, Dinklesmark's like way up, yeah. We're not doing that. We'll head back down the road to Neuenried again. Squeaks, welcome to the stream! But we're in medieval Europe, probably. I mean, there's literally undead and fucking, like, giants roaming the land and whatever these things are, so I highly doubt that we're in medieval Europe. But it's certainly a low medieval fantasy setting. There's 5 brigands there. A brigand thug and 4 brigand raiders. I don't think we can take on 4 brigand raiders, to be perfectly honest. Although saying that, our armor is 88, which is pretty darn good. What do we reckon, guys? Do we risk it and try and take on 5 brigands to farm some equipment, or do we just go and see what we've got to work in Neuenried? Mike says he'd pass. Arya says pass. We're definitely going to pass then. Alright, Neuenried does have a level 1 contract. Doesn't have a cultist for us to hire. Food is still looking good. Ambushed trade routes. A drunken woman throws herself at you. Good start. She practically drools licentious horrors into your ear and you beat her off with a stick. One onlooker rushes to your side, yanking the wench away. Begone, whore! How many times must I tell you? The lady saunters off, clambering from one man to another like an animal between tree branches. Your rescuer offers his hand. I'm Baldemar, a man of some import. Oscar the Younger has been looking for you. Please, follow me and I shall bring you to him. Oscar the Younger shoves a sizable crate into your hands before he or you even says a word. Look at that! The cargo I need delivering has already found someone to ship it off. What wonder? He drops the theatrics. I need that taken to Sanderhaven, where a man by the name of Baldwin the Burgermeister is waiting for it. It may look small, but I'm willing to pay good crowns to be sure it gets there safe and sound. You interested? Or is it a little too heavy for your arms? What are we talking about? He jingles with a bag of coins. This will be yours if you help me out on this. You are to receive 20 crowns in advance and another 90 when the job is done. I would like more than that. No, do not push me too far. You'll get 20 crowns in advance and another 90 when the job is done. We're going to accept. Sandoval, wherever the fuck we're going, is not that far away. It's literally down there. Sandhaven, that's the one. So I guess we're off to see the Burgermeister, the wonderful Burgermeister of Oz. Do. After some looking, a man asks who you're looking for. When you say Baldwin the Burgermeister, he points you out towards a nearby paddock where a man is strutting about on a rather opulent-looking horse. You walk on over and the man rears the steed and asks if that's the cargo Oscar the Younger sent. You nod. Leave it there at your feet. I'll come and get it. You don't, instead asking about your pay. The man sighs and whistles to a bodyguard who hurries over. See to it that this sellsword gets the pay he deserves. Finally, you put the crate on the ground and make your leave. Alright. Sanderhaven only has level 2 contracts, which I'm still not super happy that we're ready for. I suppose we can have a look at them though, at the very least. Leonhard the Trademaster looks at some of his books, perusing what appear to be a good deal of numbers. I got a shipment of particular goods going out to Forstburg, and they're leaving soon. I need a bunch of sturdy swordsmen to help make sure it gets there safely. Should take you about 3 days of travelling. Are you up for it? He jingles with a bag of coins. This will be yours if you help me out on this. You are to receive 13 crowns per head you arrive with, for up to 20 heads, and another 750 when the job is done. We want more. Sure, I understand. You are to receive 13 crowns per head you arrive with, up to 20 heads, and another 790 when the job is done. Fine. We'll take it. And we're off. Going to Forstburg, which is way up there. Let's see how we do here. By the route it's taking, it's going to take us through some pretty hairy territory, I think. This kind of road that goes between Goldstein and Forstburg is right on the edge of the wilds, and frequently has not very nice things there. Dietrich asks you to enter Duke the Wardog into a local dogfighting circle. That sounds like an awful idea, but the man goes on to explain that a lot of money stands to be made in dogfighting. All the dog handler needs is an ante of 200 crowns. I don't really want to do dog fighting. I'm too much of a dog person, to be honest. Plus 200 crowns sounds like a recipe for losing 200 crowns to me. Son's saying yes. Can't be called war dog and not do dog fights. I mean, if the people are called dogs, that's one thing, but the dogs, the actual dogs. Has anybody else got any input here, or are we going to be going with Son? It's not looking like anybody else does have an input. Well, Mike's saying no. Mike may have just rescued me because I'm leaning towards no. I think we're gonna go with no. Not gonna happen. We're not doing dogfights. And I'm definitely not loaning that scumbag 200 crowns. Right, we're on the hairy road now. We'll see how this goes. There's a supply caravan ahead of us. Six brigands there, but they didn't bother us. And we have arrived at Forstburg. Having reached Forstburg, the caravan's wagons are immediately unloaded and their goods taken to a nearby warehouse. Once it's all cleared out, the leader of the group hands you a satchel of crowns and thanks you for making sure their passage was a safe one. Lovely. What's going on in Forstburg? Are there any cultists in Forstburg? You're a beast slayer, aren't you? No, there aren't. We're a little bit low on food, so we better stock up. We'll grab some grain and some bread because they're both pretty cheap. And I don't really want to go back down that road, so we're actually going to go to Grunfrost and then Dinklesmark and see what happens there. Reach professional renown. We're about halfway to professional renown. 4 orc hunters running around over there. Grunfrost. No cultists. A lumberjack. But it does have a level 2 contract. Let's see what it is. You find Ewald of Grunfrost studying a few maps on his desk. He trails a finger to the edge of one map and continues it onto another. I need an escort for a caravan to Sandburg, 2 days northeast of here. Will it be dangerous? Of course. That's why I go to you, Sellsword. Are you interested? He opens the palm of his hands. I'm tight on crowns, so before you ask, this is all I have right now. It's 100 crowns in advance, and another 400 when the job is done. Yeah, why not? We really need to try and find a contract that's not a caravan escort, so we can start farming equipment, because we are desperately reaching a point where... Because apparently this game just gets progressively harder the longer you play, which is probably why people get wiped out later on. And you have to have better equipment. During camp, you travelled to the place. You knew you were sleeping, but you knew damn well where you travelled there nonetheless. Shifting beyond your mind, beyond your body, coursing over the earth, over its rivers, across its dry earth, and past the mountains which would crumble. There you found Davkul, the immutable darkness, the inviting shade. Volmar and Burke were already there, standing closest to you, and Davkul's shape shifted relentlessly or restlessly behind their images. A black hand of fog pushed one man forward and then yanked him back. Then it repeated it with the other man. You nodded in understanding. A sacrifice was required, and you were to choose. I don't know any difference between these guys. They're both sacrificey people that we took on. If I remember rightly, Volmar might be a vagabond, and I think Burke was a peddler. So what do we think, guys? Which one are we going to throw to the Davkul? Nobody wants to choose. Somebody's gonna have to choose who dies. First one to choose is the winner. It's a good job I don't have the option of choosing one of you lot, because at this point I would be. Alright, let's go with... I'm going to sacrifice Burke because he's a peddler. He's a merchant. and Volmar's a bit more stupid, basically. The procession is such. Burke is flayed alive and pierced with sharpened sticks through each limb and held aloft, spread-eagled over a fire which cooks him until death. The men watch his passing in silence, but as soon as one of his charred limbs breaks and collapses, his corpse into the flames, the men cheer and hoot and holler. Some pray, others roll around in the ashes of Burke, some licking it off their fingertips like it were sweets. It is a good night. I feel like it's not. Dietrich the Kingclawed is now a zealot of Davkul. Mike Hawk the Title Mad is now a zealot of Davkul. Fred is now a zealot of Davkul. And all of our non-cultist people have got very angry. So we will be taking the equipment off them. In fact, we're going to take their clothes off them as well, to be honest. Because we can probably use it to put on new sacrificey people. So we'll attempt to keep some of these guys. Which one's the one that stayed with us after the last one? That was Goswin, wasn't it? Yeah, he's been here for 35 days. Oh, we're on a trading caravan, so we're probably going to lose them all. In your recent travels, the company has unfortunately faced a series of mishaps. This has hit Grimold harder than the others. He's been sleeping late, starting fights and acting insubordinate. That is, when you can find him at all. None of this endears him to you or his comrades, and it didn't help matters when Hubert chucked Grimold's bedroll into the shallow ditch the brothers had been using for a latrine. It is usually best to let the men vent their unhappiness, and since the company has been having a run of raw luck, you've been tolerant. When this morning you found him gone, it wasn't much of a surprise. Grimold has deserted the cult of cheese. He won't be the last before we get to where we're going. Yeah, I'm not going to read it again, but Goswin has gone as well. Hubert's gone. Volmar's gone. You've made it! Having delivered the caravan just as you'd promised Ewald of Grunforst you would. The caravan leader thanks you with a payment of crowns. He seems rather thankful for the fact that he's alive, briefly regaling you with a tale of when he barely escaped an ambush by brigands. You nod as if you give two shits about what's happened to this man. Alright, let's go into Sandburg. Apparently we can't go into Sandburg, I guess because they're not happy with us. Interesting. In that case, I guess we'll head to Hochenau. Hello, Burkhard, the miner. Alright, I don't know if anybody's still kicking around who doesn't yet have a sponsor. Sponsor? But if you are, when we recruit people from this page, you may choose to sponsor them. However, I should point out that most people who are not of a cultist background, we are only recruiting for the sole purpose of sacrificing them. There is a slim chance that they will convert to being a cultist, but so far nobody has, and we've played like 50 days, and we've made 2 sacrifices, which is when it usually happens. So if anybody wants to sponsor this miner, then feel free. But he's probably just going to be sacrificed and or run away when somebody else is sacrificed. Oh, Gunnar's still here right now. We'll let him keep his sackcloth. No, we won't. We'll give him tattered sackcloth. And we're going to take his pick. We're good for food. So we're going to head down to Dinklesmark. I'd imagine that Gunnar's going to leave while we're on the road to Dinklesmark, because he's still very unhappy. Oh, in fact, Burkhard can be the new banner carrier because he's not miserable. Oh, we'll keep him out of the line. 8 brigands is a bit too much. So down to Dinklesmark we go. And we actually made it. So if we go in the tavern, what I'm looking for here is for... Oh! Gunnar is not quite completely miserable, so maybe he's going to stay for a bit longer. Let's let him wear some clothes again then. But I still don't trust him with a weapon just yet. See who we've got to recruit. Still no cultists. In fact, was there any cheap? Yes, this guy's only 40 gold, so we're going to hire Norman the refugee. Yes. And why not? We'll hire Adelmar the refugee as well. You don't need to keep the knife. You can, however, have the staff sling, and Norman can be put into reserve. Alright, so now we've got 4 sacrificey chaps. Hopefully that's enough. There's a level 1 contract here. Liebwin the Younger's turning an apple in hand. He seems frustrated with it, almost as if he wishes it was something else, like a valuable trinket, or perhaps just a tastier fruit. Have you ever lost something you loved? You shrug and answer. There was this girl. The man shakes his head. No, not some woman. More important, because I have. Thieves stole my lockbox. How they managed to get beyond my guards is, well, beyond me. But I know if I set you on them, I'll be having what is rightfully mine back where it belongs. Isn't that right? Or have I been misled as to the quality of your services? Welp, you're off, son. No worries, mate. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Appreciate it, bud. Congratulations on the little one, by the way. I said it in the Ravens chat, but yes, it completely went over my head when you said before that you were tucking her in. Congratulations, mate. I'm sure you'll be an amazing dad, and hopefully see you soon. Let's find out what this is worth to this chap. He opens the palm of his hands. I'm tight on crowns, so before you ask, this is all I have right now. It's 400 crowns when the contract is done. We're going to take this because it's the kind of mission where you get to fight bandits. I'm just going to hope there's not too many of them. So, follow the tracks southwest of Dinklesmark. That'd be those tracks. Oh, they're going towards the mountain. No, they're not. Okay, there's 7 of them, but they're all thugs, so that's good. Chase them down, chase them down. You catch a group of brigands lugging your employer's property around. They seem shocked that you have found them here, and no time is wasted trying to parley. They arm themselves, and you order the cult of cheese to charge. Alright, here we go. See what we can get in terms of equipment off of these chaps. They've got some nice armour there, there, and there. Weapon-wise, that might be a Scaramus axe, but it's mostly average. He's got a buckler, but I think we're going to be looking to try and salvage the armour more than anything else here. So we're going to hold, 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 hold. Let them come towards us. Right. Monterey Jack the Ripper. We're going to do shield wall because it looks like he's going to be taking a bit of a battering. And then we're going to have him hold. Erling we will hold for the time being. Yep. Mike Hawk we will put into spear wall just in case anybody tries to move into this square next to Erling. And Gebhard is just going to have to get ready to rush around. Burkhard rather is still waiting, and Adelmar is going to try and get somebody with his staff sling. Apparently he's garbage with it. No, that went well. Right, Dietrich. Going to get the whip on the go against the big brigand thug, and Fred is going to wait, see who comes at him. Erling's going to hold. That guy's going to step forward and take a swing. Step forward and swing at Fred. Monterey Jack is not happy about being surrounded. It's Fred's go, so we are just going to try and bash the crap out of this dude. Got a hit in. Gebhard. We're going to hold off again for one more turn. Burkhard can only hit the guy who we want the armor off of, so I don't really want that to happen. So we'll move him around that way. Yeah, they're definitely loading up our left flank. 32% chance. Don't want to damage his armor though if I can help it. But it's the best chance we've got, so we're going to do that. Right, Monterey Jack. Welcome back, Arya. Monterey Jack we are going to have do shield wall again because he's almost definitely about to get hit. And then he's going to try and cleave that guy, but he's going to miss. Mike Hawk we are going to put back into spear wall because these two lads at the back can only move in front of him now. Dietrich. We're going to attempt to disarm this brigand thug. It didn't work. So instead we'll whip that one. Don't really want to be damaging this guy's armor, but Erling's going to be out of the fight if he doesn't do anything against him. It's unfortunate, but I think we have to because Monterey Jack needs help. Didn't do anything anyway. He's going around that side. That chap is still not moving, so Gebhard's going to rush forward and get that Scaramusax on the go. I think Gebhard cut his leg muscles and caused bleeding with that strike, so that guy's in trouble. Burkhard misses and is now getting attacked. Fred here. 42, 47, 52. Fred with 2 misses. Adelmar, 22, 32, 32. Adelmar managing to get 1 stone hit on that guy and apparently broke his arm and fractures his ribs with 1 stone. No idea how he's managed that, but good job, Adelmar. Erling failing to get a hit in there. Fred just dodging a couple slices. Gebhard gets the kill with the Scaramusax there. And now Mike Hawk. We are gonna We're going to push Mike Hawk around to the other flank to support over there. Dietrich, I think, going to get the disarm on that guy and then move to where he's got more control over the battle. Meanwhile, Monterey Jack is going to get the cleaver on that guy and kill him. We probably want to get that guy's armor as well, to be honest. So he's going to switch to his knife. That'll be the end of his turn. Burkhard now. 68%, 59%. Going to miss again. Erling. Big flail swing and a miss. Gebhard does have a dagger, but at this point yeah, you know what? We're going to switch Gebhard over to the dagger and step him in. That guy's now trying to run away, which is actually really good. Oh, our little sacrifice is getting beaten up. 32% chance. We're going to target this one. Got a hit in. Fred here. We're going to keep targeting that one. Fred gets a big hit in and fractures an elbow. And then Mike Hawk. We're going to take a couple of stabs at that guy up there. Monterey Jack. We're going to get a stab in on him. That's pierced his leg muscles. Dietrich the Kinklord. We are going to have... go for the whip, and he's failed. That lad's trying to retreat, which is unfortunate because it means he's taking non-armor avoiding damage. That guy tried to flee and got shivved up. Gebhard getting one hit in there with the puncture. We're going to skip Erling. Burkhard actually going to get a stab in there against that thug and pierces his hand with the standard. Fred gets the flail on that one and kills him. We're going to step him up there. He's now trying to flee. In fact, they're all trying to flee at this point. And it's unfortunately for us, the three that we wanted to get the armor off of that are trying to flee. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to let Dietrich let the dog off the leash. Mike over here has got a dagger. We're going to swap to that. Doesn't get the puncture in. Monterey Jack doesn't have the fatigue left to get a puncture in. No worries, Randy. That is a fucking amazing name for a dog, by the way. I did not know your dog was called Augustus. I'm assuming it's a dog and not a cat, because that would make you a bit of a weirdo. It is a dog. There's a dog emote. Thank God. That guy tried to flee and got effed up. So did the other one. And so did he. Erling getting a kill. Monterey Jack the Ripper getting 2. Gebhard with a kill. And Fred with 3 kills. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of the torso armor. We did get an open leather cap and some more weapons, but that's not quite what we were looking for. That is his registered name. Never had a pet before. Thought it would be funny to register as Augustus until they read it out at the vets. Felt like a right prick. It's an awesome name for a dog, man. That is awesome. And hey, what's wrong with walking a cat? It just feels weird. Like, the cat walks itself. It's a cat. The battle is done and the lockbox was easy to find amongst the corpses of your enemies. You should probably return it to Liebwin the Younger for your just reward. Alright, let's take a look at the loot. First things first, we have got that open leather cap, which is going to be an improvement, I think, for... yeah, it is, for Erling. So we're going to switch Erling over to an open leather cap. We have got more knives. Mike Hawk needs to switch back to his spear. Gebhard back to the Scaramusax. Monterey Jack back to the cleaver. I'm going to give Erling a knife. No, not instead of, as well as. Just in case we want to have him do a bit of puncture damage and try and salvage some armor. Dietrich doesn't really need one because he's so far back anyway. And then we've got some wooden flails. Which, you know what, we'll give Erling a wooden flail as well, just in case we want to target the head and try and salvage some torso armor. I'm trying not to add additional equipment onto the sponsored characters. If we've got a better version, I'm just straight upgrading it because there's no point in not. But I don't want to give like somebody a weapon that they didn't want for their character. And the same with Fred's level up here. Because Rubbish Gamer Girl's not here, I'm not gonna choose his level up, or her level up for Fred. I'm gonna leave it until she comes back. Excellent, right. I think we're good to proceed forward, to be perfectly honest. Have you found any new followers recently? Found any new followers? What do you mean? Have I got any new followers on Twitch? Or did I find some new followers in the game? You've lost me, Aria. For the cult? Oh, no, we sacrificed somebody earlier and a bunch of the nobodies left. And we recruited 3 new nobodies, and one of them that was here before stayed. But we haven't actually got any more cultists. Liebwin the Younger's resting his legs on 2 dogs, each one passed out atop the other. These beasts could rip my throat out, yet look at them. How does that happen? I didn't even train them. Someone else did. I'm a stranger to them, yet there they are. You place the artifact on the man's table and slide it across. He leans forward, takes it, and then places it under his desk. When his hand returns, he's got a satchel in hand. He tosses it over. As promised. Good work, Sellsword. Excellent. Any more cultists to recruit? No. There's a woeful shortage of cultists. I don't know if there's something wrong with the game or not, but like, fuck me. How are you meant to make a cultist playthrough work if you can't recruit any cultists and everybody else pisses off as soon as you're forced to sacrifice someone? It doesn't make any sense. I know that Ryan said last time there's a chance that the uneducated, the lower classes will convert into cultists, but we've done 2 sacrifices so far and they never have. We've got a fair bit of cash, so I'm going to hire Horik, mostly because I think the more of these sacrificial people we have, the more chance one of them will convert into a cultist. By the way, again, guys, if you do want to sponsor one of the sacrificey people in the hopes that they will convert, that's fine, but you need to do it when we recruit them. And if they die, it's not the end of the world. You can just have a different sponsor the next time we recruit somebody. But yeah, I don't know how we're supposed to expand the ranks, to be perfectly honest. There is a level 1 contract here. We have 22 food, so we better buy some more. It's fairly expensive in here. We'll buy some grain. An old shopkeep waves at you. It's good seeing you again, Sellsword. How often do you hear that? He thumbs down the road. If you'd like to do some more of that good work, then Herman the Counsellor has been looking for you. Knowing your luck, they'd leave or get sacrificed. Well, I mean, so far, that statistically is... Those two have happened 100% of the time, so... I'm all ears. Herman the Counsellor looks out his window. We both know that brigands and the gods know what else are terrorizing these parts, and they are all quite fond of the roads. After a particularly bad run, my old caravan guards lost the heart for the job. Now I need someone else to watch my shipment. Next one is going out to Forstburg, to the west, maybe a day or so from here. Does that sound like a place you'd like to be paid to go? He puts his hand on your shoulder, smiling reaffirmingly. I think I know an adequate compensation for your services. You'll be paid 230 crowns when the contract is done. Imatech, Lord of the Rings Online time, setting up a lurk. Thank you for the lurk, mate. Thank you for letting me know. And have fun on Lord of the Rings Online. We're going to try and ask for more. Sure, I understand. You are to receive 240 crowns when the job is done. Ooh, 10 more, yay. I guess we'll take it, because work is work, right? There's 7 orc oh, shit. Shit. 7 orc marauders. We could well get absolutely fucked here. I've never fought orcs in this game. But by all accounts, they're pretty nasty. They are orc young, which makes them slightly weaker than the full orcs, but that doesn't reassure me all that much, to be perfectly honest. I'm going to drop Mike Hawk into Spear Wall again. Hope that it can do some damage when they next try and move into our lines. Oh, this is not good. Well, we're definitely not looking to salvage equipment from this. We're just going to try and do as much damage as possible. 27% chance. That one doesn't have any head armor, so we'll go for him. Oh, he managed to get a hit in. Is one of them still using the... Jesus Christ. So, yeah, I think that they're able to do like a charge attack. Erling, with the flail, breaks the orc's nose and stuns him. That's excellent. There's another charge. These are definitely not going well. Yeah, we're getting guys stunned, which means that they skip a go, which is not good at all. Dietrich here. That one's got no armor at all. Who cares? We're going to try and whip that one. That barely scratched his armor. Holy shit, his armor looks like it might be amazing. Fred is going to push around the side here and go for that head shot with the flail. And he gets a kill. One orc dead. Great, they've got javelins as well. Fred being stunned there. 27%. Not great. I'm going to keep that spear wall up with Mike, because I do not know whether it's going to stop the orcs charging or not. Uno is over. Time to come bug me, Buford. No worries. How was Uno? Thank fuck for that. That was definitely a charge, and it was repelled by the spear wall, so that's interesting to know. Burkhard still can't do anything. Gebhard here. 40% of damage ignores armor. We're going to switch Gebhard over to the bludgeon and start wailing away at that orc. That stunned him, so he's going to skip a go for that. Monterey Jack, we're going to push forward. That orc's got a lot of armor, but Monterey Jack doesn't really have anything that is any good against it. Although his hand axe is better than his cleaver, so we'll swap him over to that. He just got charged. That one's still throwing his javelins. One of the caravan guys stepping forward. One of them stepping a long way back. We'll push Erling forward here and get the flail in on that one. That's broken that orc's nose and shattered his helmet, which is good. I'm going to move Burkhard forward. Get a stab in with the standard. That completely wrecked his torso armor, so that's excellent. It was great, lots of fun, should have joined us. I don't have Uno, Buford, and to be honest, it's one of those games where I know most people on the planet, in the world, have played it. I've never ever played Uno, and I actually don't know how. I'm here, we dead yet? It's possible we're about to be, Ryan, but presently no. Adelmar, we're going to try and get a stone on that one. That didn't go well. Dietrich, 47%, 62%. I mean, the whip didn't seem to do a lot of damage against the guy that had a lot of armor, so we're going to go for one that doesn't have armor now and hit his shield. But then we hit him and we caused bleeding as well. Oh, Fred taking a big hit there from the cudgel. I'm going to keep Mike Hawk in spear wall just in case this guy decides to try and charge in again. Erling taking a big hit there, it's stunned him. Oh my god! I think Dietrich the Kinklord just got shattered by that orc. Burkhard, gonna go for the 73%, and that's done some damage. That stabbed that orc through the guts. That's nice. Adelmar here only has a staff, so he's gonna leg it before that orc picks a fight with him, because it's not gonna go well for him if it does. That orc's still throwing his javelins. Gebhard, I think, just lost his shield. Fred actually has got a bruised leg, but we're going to go for the headshots with the flail, and he's broken that orc's nose, which is very nice. Mike Hawk, we're actually going to move around here and try and get him into this orc young. Oh, I think Fred just got fucked up by an orc. Erling's not doing well either. It'd be nice if these caravan guys would actually fucking get involved. The dog there tearing that orc up. 58%, 58%. Cut leg muscles on that one. We're going to get Gebhard to do him in so that he can get some help against the one in front of him. Monterey Jack. That orc's bleeding. They have got shields though, which is... Let's try and get rid of their shields with Monterey Jack. He managed to get rid of one shield. 68, 74%. Get a stab in there, that's pierced his hand. Adelmar. Basically achieving nothing with his staff sling. Gebhard taking some hard hits. Erling, 61% chance, but he's bleeding anyway, so I don't think he'll survive his next action. And he's already trying to flee, so we're going to go for this one. He's going to miss. Mike Hawk going to move up. Try and get a stab in on that Orc Young there. Caravan guys still doing fucking nothing. That Orc tried to run away and Erling did him in. That other one's trying to flee now and has got Monterey Jack hacking at his back. The dog's getting stuck in. Dog managed to stab that guy's guts with its teeth somehow. I'm not sure how that works, but hey. Burkhard getting a kill in on that Orc. Nice. One of the caravan guys coming forwards, getting a bit brave. Gebhard going to continue trying to do that Orc in. He's now trying to flee. There's just this one that's not fleeing. Adelmar still failing to do fucking anything productive with his sling staff. We're going to step Monterey Jack forward and get a hit in there. Didn't do much, but that's fine. Mike Hawk getting some stabs in on the fleeing Orc. Erling coming forward. Now that one's fleeing, so I think we've won somehow. That one's escaped. That one attempted to escape and the dog did him in. We are going to run them down. Dog's ripped that one up and gone after the other one. Burkhard's going to move forward, get a stab in. Gebhard rushing around. Monterey Jack going to get one strike in against the body and one against the shield. Adelmar still failing to do anything at all with his sling. Fractured hand there from Erling's two-handed flail. Mike Hawk on his way round. That's him done in. And that one's now rallied and is apparently not running away. The dog's caught up to him and broken his nose when it launched itself at him apparently. Caravan chaps look like they're getting involved. Burkhard's going to move back up. All the lads coming to rush to, well, not necessarily to Adelmar's rescue, but no, Ryan, Monterey Jack's right here. He's rushing up now. Mike Hawk rushing up as well. Erling got a dart around that bush. Adelmar can't do shit with the staff sling. So he's now going to have to start punching an Orc, and apparently just broke his nose and then took a big hit for it. Dog ripping him up. I don't know if they are actually breaking his nose or if it's just telling us he's got a broken nose. But then our standard bearer manages to get the kill. Fred unfortunately died, and Dietrich the Kinklord also got completely smashed to bits by that charging Orc. Looks like we've got Dietrich's hood. We've still got the dog. We've gained an Orc shield. We've still got that whip. We've got a cultist's leather robe from Dietrich as well, and an Orc head chopper. So we did lose two lads. Unfortunately, two cultists as well, which are just getting ridiculously hard to replace. I don't understand why they're so difficult. Like, we just cannot seem to find them. Well, yeah, but they're not cultists, though. That's the problem. Right, let's dish the loot first of all. We do have some wonderful, strange meat that we can eat. Somebody needs to start looking after Duke the War Dog now. Ryan, Monterey Jack the Ripper has leveled up. But we'll have a look at the stuff first. The Feral Shield is not as good as a normal shield, but it's actually better than a buckler. It takes a lot more fatigue to carry it, but it's better than a buckler. It looks like Mike Hawk, the title mad, has also leveled up. In fact, everybody that's still alive that fought has leveled up. So Ryan, I don't know if there's any equipment you want to claim before we level you up. Swap you back to your cleaver there. The Orc Head Chopper is actually a cleaver as well, so it's essentially far better than a Butcher's Cleaver. So that is a direct upgrade. It will still cause bleeding damage, and it does more damage. It costs a lot of fatigue. I'm guessing because it's fucking massive, but you'll take it. Alright, Monterey Jack the Ripper with an Orc Head Chopper now. How much is that mask? 60. The Cultist's leather hood that Dietrich used to wear is actually an improvement over the hood you're wearing as well, Ryan. Although saying that, Erling has been with the company for a day longer than you, so I'm going to give him that. However, you can still take the open leather cap that he was wearing, which is also an improvement. Fuck Erling and his face. Well, I mean, you don't need to now, it's covered up. But if you want the open leather cap, it does give 10 extra protection than the hood you're wearing. It's beat to fuck. Yeah, but we'll repair it. Like, that's why you have tools, so you can repair things that are slightly damaged. Go on then. Okie doke. I already upgraded your hatchet to a hand axe, because we had a hand axe, and it was a direct, like, weapon upgrade. But you're still using a knife, and there's now a dagger free in the pool, if you want that. That's a direct upgrade as well. Something to help steal Erling's hood with. Oh dear. No, not that. I want to swap it for that. Right. Is there any equipment you want to claim, Ryan? The battle whip's in there now. There's the feral shield, but that's not actually better than your shield. We've got some cudgels, a tree limb apparently. There's short swords, reinforced flails, dukes in there. Or are you happy with the kit that you've got? Doge. You want Duke. You've got to be careful with him. They're usually better for running down enemies that are running away or attacking enemies with very little armor, but you don't control where the dog goes. Once you let it off the leash, it's just going to attack things. So be careful with him, because you could get him killed. But here's your level up options. Pretty shitty rolls, to be perfectly honest. Where would you like to put your points? Health, melee defense, and fatigue. Health, fatigue, and melee defense. Confirm. Confirm. Right, excellent. What perk would you like? You already have fast adaptation, which makes it easier to hit people you've missed. There's crippling strikes that makes it easier to injure people. Colossus, which improves your hit points. 9 lives, which means if you get hit, there's a chance to survive with a few hit points left instead of dying. Bags and belts, which gives you 2 extra item slots. Pathfinder, that makes movement easier. Adrenaline, which gives you the first move in the next round. Recover, that recovers 50% of your accumulated fatigue. Student, that is basically overall XP buff. or the new line that you've now unlocked, Executioner, 20% additional damage against targets that are already injured. Bullseye, which makes it easier to hit things from ranged. Dodge, which is obvious. Fortified Mind, which increases your resolve. Resilient, which means any negative status effect, so if you get like a bleeding or a charmed effect, it only lasts 1 turn. Steel Brow, so hits to the head no longer cause critical damage to this character, which also lowers the risk of sustaining debilitating head injuries significantly. Or Quick Hands, swapping any item in battle except for shields becomes a free action with no action point cost, so if you wanted to switch to your knife or your hand axe, it wouldn't cost you 4 action points. It essentially takes half a turn to change your equipment out. Or Gifted, which instantly gains a level up to increase this character's attributes with, which I think is basically sacrificing one of these perks to have another one of these come up. So I don't know which one you want to do. Doge. Very well. Dodge. Erling has also leveled up. Erling's traits are he is a fanatic of Davkul. He's loyal. He's got a broken nose for a little bit, but that's fine. And he's very much in there swinging away. +4 to resolve, +4 to fatigue, and a +3 to his melee damage, I think. He's already got crippling strikes, so we're going to give him Executioner because they pair up pretty well. Mike, I'm back. Sorry, had to do stuff for work. You're back just in time because Mike Hawk, the title mad, has leveled up. Before we get to your actual level up though, is there any equipment you would like to claim? Ryan already claimed the dog, but to be fair, you can't have it because you already have the falcon. There's no direct equipment upgrade. Oh, actually, that's not true. There is a direct equipment upgrade. The Feral Shield, the Orc Shield that we picked up, is much better than a buckler. But it takes a lot more fatigue to carry because it's big and bulky. It essentially looks like somebody's door that's been ripped off the hinges. But I'll take the Feral Shield. Okido. Mike Hawk taking the Feral Shield. You also do have a spare slot available, so if you want to take any of these other things, we've got a bludgeon, a butcher's cleaver, knives, a hatchet, cudgels, a tree limb, a pickaxe, reinforced wooden flails, short swords, all sorts of crap. Just going to rejig that order a bit. If there's anything else you want to claim, Mike, let me know. But let's have a look at what your level up is. There's your points. Not fantastic rolls, but not atrocious either. Where would you like to put your points? Can you claim the Gladius looking one, Imatech? For Battle Brothers, I'm only allowing people to sponsor people when we first recruit them. Because the ones that are already in the ranks, even the NPCs, like, they've been with us and they've done stuff, and it doesn't sit right with me to then change who they are. So we're only letting people sponsor people when we recruit them. I think he meant the sword. Can he claim a sword? How's he going to claim a sword if he's not got a person, Ryan? +5, the one right above it, and health. So initiative, resolve, and +2 on your health. Confirm, Mike? Yes. Right, in that case, Mike, skills-wise, this is your first level up. So you've got fast adaptation that makes it easier to hit targets that you've missed. Crippling strikes that makes it easier to injure people. Colossus that boosts your hit points. 9 lives that means once every battle, if you get reduced to a dead state, you will survive instead with a few hit points, but then you're probably going to die if you get hit again. Bags and belts gives you 2 more slots for items down here. Pathfinder makes movement points over rough terrain cost less. Adrenaline puts you first in the move order for the next round. It's an ability. Recover is another ability that reduces your accumulated fatigue in a battle by half. And Student is a 20% XP gain from battles forever. Which one would you like to have, Mike? Did we lose Mike? Alright. I'm tempted to make you wait until the next time I go through them, because I've gone through them like twice. One of them was specifically for you, and then you went, oh, sorry, what were they? Like an old person. Come on! The people watching the VOD back are going to be like, fuck's sake, third time, really? Right. Fast adaptation makes it easier to hit targets you've missed. Crippling strikes makes it easier to injure targets. Colossus boosts your hit points. 9 lives means you survive a killing blow once per battle, with a few hit points left. Bags and belts gives you 2 extra slots for items down here. Pathfinder makes it easier to move. Adrenaline is an ability to put you first in the turn order. Recover is an ability to reduce your fatigue. And Student is an XP gain that basically snowballs over time. I want you to pick. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, if yeah, you can do it that way, the way Ryan said. You can suggest, like, I want to be this kind of fighter and I'll pick skills. But, like, people saying pick what you think is best is like, well, I don't know what kind of fighter you want to be. Like, it depends. There's no best skill, otherwise there wouldn't be any choices. I'll come back to it while I do some of these AI ones. I'll let Mike have a think. I kind of want to take that, I think. Yeah, we may as well. We'll take the... No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to take 3 on hit points for him, 3 on resolve, and 3 on damage. He's strong, impatient, and has double grip. So we are definitely giving his ass Executioner. When we recruit one Imatech. Adelmar, one of our slave guys, has actually leveled up. One of our sacrificey people. Apparently he's dumb. How can you be quick and dumb? Oh, quick as in speed quick. He's almost definitely needs his ranged boosting if he's going to be back there with that sling. We'll give him a resolve boost and a hit points boost. And we shall say he can have... That needs to be put back in his hands. We'll give him fast adaptation, I think, because his aim is terrible. And then Burkhard. We're going to take health, melee, and max fatigue. He is a drunkard, which means he does more damage and resolve, but he's less likely to hit, essentially. think for a drunk miner, we'll give him crippling strikes. If he does hit you, it's gonna fucking hurt. We'll hold on to Mike's perk choice. I'd rather he picked it than we force it. Gebhard looks like he's lost his shield in that fight, so we're going to give him a buckler. And we'll move Adelmar behind Mike. We desperately need to find some more cultists, though. I'm going to see if we can recruit anybody going through Grunfrost, or Forst rather. No cultists. Jesus Christ. I don't know why cultists are so hard to get on a cultist playthrough where they're supposed to be essentially the main bulk of the feckin' company and we only have 4. There's Forstburg. The wagon train drives into Forstburg. We've read that one today, so we'll skip it. Let's head into Forstburg and see what we can find. No cultists for recruiting, because why would there be? That would be far too easy. Alright. Who's been in the longest? Gebhard and Erling have both been in since day 1. As far as I can tell. 46 days, that's day 1, right? Oh, almost. We're on day 48. Does that mean we've lost everybody that was here in the beginning? Scaramasax and a 2-handed flail. Let's have a look whether... No, there's no weaponsmith here. Alright, let's take a look at the armourer then. Lots of people are waiting for a Mimatech. Because we can't recruit cultists because of this feckin' playthrough. Leather lamellar armour for 375. It's expensive, but at this point I feel like we might even need to do it. Although, no, I'm not going to buy more armour right now. Because we don't have any other cultists. Like, normally I would push the weakest armour onto somebody else. And I'm not going to push it onto these guys because we're not keeping them. I think we will push Norman into the front line. And we'll give him a battle whip. Because that whip is really useful. And actually we've got another staff sling, so Gunnar can come forward with a staff sling as well. Yeah. Arya had a wild man that didn't like that we sacrificed someone, so he legged it. Right, let's head back to Grunforst. God, we are struggling for recruits in this, to be honest. This is a hard playthrough. Still no cultists there. There's a level 2 contract, but we've still got some injuries, to be honest. So I think I'd rather move to the next town, let the injuries heal a bit more, and see if there's more cultists in Dinklesmark. Still no cultists. Like, I don't know. Is there something I'm missing? Like, is there a place you're supposed to go to recruit cultists? What's the contract? It's a delivery. Liebwin the Younger's men are standing around a bit of cargo. Their employer shoos them away when he sees you. Welcome, welcome. Good seeing you. I am in need of armed guards to have this here package delivered to a man by the name of Markolf the Steward in Cochendorf. I reckon it's about a day of travel for a company as yours. How interested would you be in doing that for me? He gesticulates with his hands, pointing at his fingers as if counting something, but it means nothing to you. Judging from experience, this is good payment for the task. You are to receive 500 crowns when the contract is done. You know what? Dinklesmark likes us, so I'm just going to straight up accept that, because 500 crowns is a lot. And we're going all the way down to Cochendorf. Towns in swamps have them more often. An extra event has a cultist randomly join you. Conversion to cultist event is increased. Later game happy powder should help. I think getting as many meat bags as possible to get higher chances to convert them may be the way forward. The problem with that is it's so expensive because you just have to keep recruiting them and then they all piss off when you sacrifice someone. Towns in swamps, so Weissenbach looks like it might be the place to go, and I think actually we've recruited most of the ones we've recruited from here, haven't we? I'm going to stop through on the way to Cochendorf and see if we can grab one. No, there's nobody to recruit there. That's annoying. There's not really any other towns in the middle of a swamp. With the potential exception of Kronenkug, which is not quite in the middle of a swamp, but it's near one. Oh, fuck. We definitely do not want to get involved with those things. No, don't go near them. Oh, fuck me. Thank fuck for that. I actually think they didn't want to fight us because we were definitely close enough that they could have done, but... Cultist conversion event fires roughly every 13 days and converts any lowborns without bright or any non-nobles with dumb traits. Converts any lowborns without bright or any non-nobles with dumb traits. Taking this into account, the backgrounds that can be converted. It converts any? Like as in all of them? That seems unlikely. Yeah, we're not helping those people. Markolf the Steward's waiting for you as you enter the town. He hurriedly takes the cargo off your hands. Oh! Oh, I did not think you'd get here! His grubby fingers dance along the chest carrying the cargo. He turns around and barks an order to one of his men. They step forward and hand you a satchel of crowns. Yeah, there's no direct cultists to recruit there. We're not taking a level 3 mission, that's for damn sure. We'll buy some grain. We could almost sell that, we'd be only 7 down. But I think we bought that at a bad price, to be honest. So I'm just going to do it and take a 7 crown loss at this point. I'm not that fussed. How much are medical supplies here? Expensive. Alright, is there anybody super cheap in here? No. I think what we'll do is every town we hit, we're gonna look for we'll look for cultists, and we'll also recruit anybody that costs less than 100 crowns. Because we are actually doing financially like the best I think I've ever done. But we're not leveling as gear up, and we don't have cultists that we can count on. How is there nobody to recruit in Kronen-Krug? Come on. Alright, we're approaching the final hour, so I'm going to stop reading these for the rest of the session and we'll just take them. This is a delivery. I didn't even check where it was. We paid more, 310 crowns. Neuenried. Oh, that's nice and easy. I'm sure I've seen recruits available at night time. I could be wrong though. That would make a lot of sense both mechanically, logically, and based on what we've seen, but I thought that they could be recruited at night. $310 crowns. No cultists and nobody under 100 crowns. Brigands killed Giselher and his whole family. What's the pay? 660 crowns. Alright. Why not? We've got a line of 8. I'm gonna give Horik some weaponry. Question is what to give him. Oh, we actually have a cultist's leather robe available from somebody, which is an improvement on Gebhard's armor, so we're going to give that to Gebhard. And then Mike, I don't know if you're able to check in, but we have a better armor than the one you're wearing if you want an upgrade. We will put Horik into the front line with, well, not into the front line, into the back line with a buckler and a sword and a hood for a bit of head protection. Oh, hello. You find a kid wearing a rather